Okay, so this is the highest and lowest technique that we are going to discuss right now. In highest and lowest technique, it is not like the toting technique, because in toting technique we input numbers and we keep on adding to a new variable. But in highest and lowest techniques, we have to take in multiple numbers and we have to find out which is the highest number or which is the lowest number. Or we can also do the both at the same time. Like we can, in this, among the 10 numbers input, we can also find out highest one and the lowest one. But for that, what is the procedure? When we declare the variables, we need to take two separate variables that will be used as highest and lowest. We also declare the variable that needs to be we need to input in the num variable, and then we also need to use a variable for the counter. So I use a for that. All of these variables are integer data type. Now, once we have done this, the value of highest is to be declared to a very smaller value, and the value of L variable needs to be declared to be, this is initialization, to be a very positive and high value. This is the technique of it. Let's proceed. I need to input 10 numbers. So I say for a equals to 1 to 10, and then I input the number. According to this question, I need to find only the highest number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the formula only for highest one, and this lowest part will not be used. If this is the condition, if number is greater than highest, then highest equals to number, and then next, and sorry, and next. Now see what happens here. First time the value of a will be something, value of h will be something, value of num will be something. This is the trace table that we are doing, and I'm also saying if num is greater than h. So this is, we are doing the trace table. Yes, it is very much necessary that we declare the variables, and it is also necessary that we initialize the variable of h. बेटा मुझसे बोल दो, बोल दो आधे घंटे के बाद आ जाए, ये कल आजकल पढ़ा है। हाँ, yes, and say it again. We did not declare what? A. Well, it is not necessary to declare a because it is a variable used for a use in loop. Any variable that is used in the for loop, it is not required to be declared, but then only you can use this a variable within for and next only. If you want to use this a variable out of next or before for, it will not be recognized by the program. If you want to make your variable, this variable, recognized by the program out of the loop, it should be declared. If you do not want it to be recognized out of the loop, you do not need to declare it. So this one here doesn't help out a lot, but it is just to mention it whether that this variable is declared as integer variable. Okay, so this declaration is not necessary. If you do not want to declare it, you don't have to. Okay, now first time the value of a is, let's say, 0, h is minus 10,000, and num is, we have not input the value of num. So let's run this command. When we run this command, we assume a number 5 is entered here. Okay, now num is 5, h is minus 10,000. So does this make this condition true? The condition is true. So what will happen? What we have written in our condition is, if num is greater than h, then h becomes num. Okay, now according to this one, we are going to store, actually this program will store, because this condition is true here, that's why the value of h will become 5. Do you get it? This was the first cycle of the loop. On the second cycle of the loop, a becomes 2. What is the new value of h? Exactly. Now when we input a number, assume a number is input, what number would you assume that it was entered by the user? Why greater than 5? User can enter any number because input is a command in which the programmer and the program does not know what will be entered in the program, because the user is going to type anything in it. So what do you expect? Any number, exactly. It could be 2 also. It could be 27 also. It could be minus 99. It could be any number. So according to this, the number is 2 and h is 5. Condition is false at the moment. Since the condition is false, nothing will happen here. This part does not work when this condition is false. Right? Now, the loop comes to the third count and another number is entered. Suppose it is 67. Sorry, H's value is 5 because it was unchanged in the previous cycle. The number input is 69 and number is greater than h now because number is 69, h is 5, so h becomes 69. Exactly. And this loop keeps on going until the 10th value is entered. If the 10th value was greater than all the previous numbers, only then this condition becomes true and h becomes what was the biggest value. Because if it was, suppose h was 69 here, h was 69, give me a minute. जी बेटा चल दरवाजा बंद करो अंदर जाओ दरवाजा बंद करो अंदर जाओ पढ़ा रहा हूँ so all the numbers if there were numbers in number which were let's say 74 and 13 and 16 and whatever 15 let's say even if it was 26 was among all since this was the biggest number h becomes 74 here and in all the other cycles there was no number which was bigger than 74 so this value does not change h what in the end we find h as 74 and after the loop when I output this thing when I say output h the latest value of h will be output. Do you get it, beta? I am going to turn off my video, but you need to keep it on. So, or if you want to turn it off, you can also turn it off. But I just need to see that you are understanding it or not. Come again. I did not understand you. Say it again. This thing you're talking about. See, here we are. Either we can write this or we can also write this. If if h is smaller than num, both are fine. Both mean same thing. But since we are finding out the greater value, that's why we have to write this. But according to mathematics, we know that both of these statements are correct. I do not suggest you to use this one. I suggest you to use this one. And this h equals to num means number is being stored in h. Do you get it? For least number, we have to use another condition because since we have to find out both the numbers, highest and lowest both. So there is going to be a separate program for that. Let me show you how. Let's continue it from here. I use another if for the least number. If number is less than L, then L equals to number. And if and then next. नहीं बेटा, we cannot use as if. I will tell you why. Else if means any condition if something then, else if something then, and if. Suppose let's talk about this one. Suppose the numbers that we input were 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. H was initially declared as minus 10,000. L was declared as 10,000, which is the rule of highest and lowest technique. When 2 was entered, this condition was true because num was 2 and h was this, right? So this condition becomes true and h becomes 2. But because this condition, according to else if, because I need to do it for you. Else if this condition is true, will this condition work? Else if does not work when any of the previous condition becomes true. If any of the previous condition becomes true, else if does not work. So this condition was true. This does not work. But h becomes true. Again, this number was entered. The loop repeats. This number is entered. This condition becomes true. H becomes 4. Is that correct? This condition again does not work. Then similarly, loop works again, repeats again. A number is entered which is 6. This condition again becomes true. H becomes 6. And this still does not work. Similarly, because all the numbers are bigger than others, till the end h becomes 16, sorry 14, and in all these numbers this condition was never true because number was 14. In the last condition number was 14, L was 10,000. It never worked actually. Since it never worked, so the last number that we found was H was 14 and L was 10,000, which is logically and technically both not possible since the number that we entered according to the true condition, this should have been the correct one. This is correct, this is incorrect. But according to our numbers, H should have been 14 and L should be 2. Do you get it? So by using else if, we are actually choosing among the conditions. Therefore, we do not have to choose, we do not have to use else if. Instead, we have to use two separate ifs and ifs. This is the way it works. And it should be, you got it? Zabardast. That's good. That's good. It should be, uh, this is how it works, right? So you can now copy it down. I hope it is visible enough to you. Can you see my screen clearly, beta? Okay, good. Just note it down in your copy in your notebook. Come again. Later on. Okay, fine. So you take the screenshot, but actually I need to give you an assignment right now. That's why you need to have this program in front of you for the first time. When you write the first program and you write the first algorithm, you should have this program in front of you. And okay, that's good. So your question is input daily temperature of a month and output the highest and lowest temperature. I want you to write down the program code for in Visual Basic and share your screen with me.